Let's use Cancer Data Aggregator to find subjects with similar characteristics so we can build a simple cohort. To do that, we're going to head to the Cancer Data Aggregator website, which you will find at cda.readthedocs.io. Here, you will see that we have a number of options for how to interact with the CDA. You can use our interactive tool, you can use a low-code tool, you can install and run using CDA Python, or there's a number of options for developers at the bottom. Today, I want to focus on the no-code and low-code options. We're going to start with no-code. To do that, we're going to hit this button that says Head to our interactive page to try it out. This loads our interactive search page, and after a short introduction, you'll see that the search tool is already loaded and has been pre-populated with a simple search. Here, we're looking for all of the subjects that have a diagnosis of adenocarcinoma. If we look further down, we see the answer. So these are all of the subjects that have that diagnosis, or a diagnosis that includes that word. And down at the bottom, it tells us it's showing us 10 rows at a time, and there are 1,387 pages of information. So that means there's almost 14,000 subjects that meet this criteria. We can page through them if we want to, or we could copy out this entire spreadsheet and paste it somewhere. We could download it as a CSV, or we could download it as an Excel file. So if this was the query that we wanted, this is all we have to do, is push one of those buttons and we will have the information that we're looking for already on our computer. We can also use the search bar here to see what kind of information is in here. For instance, everyone in our current view is white. Let's see if there are any Black people that are included in this data. And there are. We have several subjects that come up as Black or African American. And if I scroll down, we'll see that it has dynamically changed the information based on our search. So it's still showing me 10 rows, but now there's only 53 pages. So about 530 of the subjects that are in our original query have a race of Black or African American. And we can do that with any of the values that are here. The ones that are across the top here, cause of death, ethnicity, race, species, years of birth and death, etc., are here because they are the most popular ones that people would like to search on. They are not the only search terms available at CDA. In order to make this interactive search work, we had to limit the number of search terms that we made available, so these are the ones that we think you're most likely to want to use. In addition to those ones I've already mentioned, if we scroll over, we'll see that there's also what data source it came from, so which data commons you could find the original data at, the diagnosis, sex, cancer stage, anatomic site, and treatment type. If all we see is an empty set of brackets, that means there is no information. If we scroll down a little bit, we can see that chemotherapy is filled in for this one. It's in brackets because there can be multiple options. A subject can have chemotherapy and radiation therapy, for instance. Or they could have cancer at multiple stages if they have information at multiple time points. If the answer is just NA, that means there can only be one answer. You can only have 1 year of death, and that information is not included. I'm going to scroll back over to the front and up to the top so that we can change our search and see what other information is in here. Now, we might want to keep this diagnosis contains adenocarcinoma and just narrow it down a bit. So if I want to do that, I can add a condition. That allows me to choose new options, and you'll see I can choose from any of the ones that we just looked at. Let's say I want to find someone with the anatomic site, and let's look for subjects that have some sort of breast cancer. So we'll use contains again, and we'll put in the word breast. You could see as I was typing that our information down at the bottom dynamically changed again. And so now it contains everyone that has a diagnosis of adenocarcinoma and an anatomic site of breast. If we scroll down, we can get a better idea of what kinds of information we have about this new cohort of subjects. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom again and go over to the right so that I can see what kinds of specific cancers are included in this cohort. As you might expect, we have quite a lot of infiltrating duct carcinomas and clear cell adenomas. We also have subjects that have a variety of treatment types. If we scroll down to the bottom, we could page through the 4 pages of results, or since there's only 4 pages, we could change the number of rows that are available to 50, and that should show us everyone. So now I can scroll through all of the subjects that met this criteria all in one view and see if I want to save this information or not. I've gone back up to the top so that we can try a different query altogether. So if I click Clear All, that gets rid of all of our conditions, and you can see now that we have a different set of information again because it has stopped filtering any of our data. You'll see that now I have just an Add Condition button. If I click that, it comes back up with my options, and I can choose a different kind of data. So let's try cause of death and equals. This will give us a list of all of the possible options, so we're not typing in something that may or may not be in there. Let's look for cancer-related deaths. Without us clicking anything else, this has already filtered our results to have just the people that have a cancer-related death, and it's probably going to be quite a large number of people. I'm going to change this back to 10 so that it's easier to scroll through and go see how many results we got. So again, we have 10 rows per page and we have 113 pages. So just over 1,000 subjects that have cancer-related deaths. Just like before, we can continue to add more conditions to get a smaller and more specific set of subjects. So for instance, maybe we want only subjects who have a Hispanic heritage and a cancer-related death. Once again, I chose equals, and I'm going to choose Hispanic or Latino. So now we have only about 50 subjects that fit our criteria, and once again, we can get that information and save it for ourselves for later. I'm going to click Excel, which automatically starts a download, and now this information is stored on my laptop so that I can come back and look through these subjects in more detail